Yes.
This meeting is being
Good evening,
recorded.
all. In the last session, we discussed about Jenkins pipeline. So, Jenkins pipeline is an automation solution that lets you create simple or complex pipelines. Jenkins pipeline is a combination of plugins which automates number of tasks and makes the CI/CD pipeline efficient and high in quality and reliable. You can create the Jenkins jobs by using freestyle jobs, or you can create by using scripting. That pipelines we can scripted pipelines we can do in two ways: scripted approach and a declarative approach. And there is a concept called Jenkins file. Whatever the pipeline is required for a project, we can keep that pipeline script in the Jenkins and we can create it. That Jenkins file we can commit along with our project repository. The Jenkins file we can commit along with our project repository. So in the yesterday, we have created some pipelines and we are able to execute our first declarative pipeline. So it will start with a pipeline keyword agent. We can execute that pipeline in any node system. Then stages. In a pipeline, we can write multiple stages. Every stage will have some steps. Right. So build pipeline script. So here we have created a pipeline script which is responsible to get the code from Maven GitHub repository and perform the build. So here I have taken two stages in this pipeline. Stage 1 is getting the code. Stage 2 is doing the build. So environment we are specifying where the Maven is available. And I have written two stages in the pipeline. In every stage, there is one step. In the first stage step, get the code. Second stage step, do the Maven build. Now, after that, we have created another pipeline with SonarQube server. So here we have created a pipeline with three stages. Stage 1, getting the code from the Git repository. Stage 2, doing the Maven build. Stage 3, doing the code review by using Sonar. That is our third pipeline. In the fourth pipeline, we integrated everything: Jenkins with Maven, GitHub, Sonar, and Tomcat. In this pipeline script, we have created with four steps. This pipeline we created with four steps, right? Stages. First stage is getting the code. Second stage is doing the build. And the third stage is SonarQube analysis. Fourth stage is code deploy. So Tomcat server is running in the AWS cloud. So we need to deploy the project into that AWS cloud server. From Jenkins server, we need to deploy the project to the Tomcat server. For that, we are using SSH agent. So in the last session, we have seen how to work with SSH agent also. All right, next one. In this Jenkins server, we are creating freestyle jobs and we are creating pipelines also. In this Jenkins, we are creating freestyle jobs and pipelines also. So what is the actual purpose of this Jenkins? We discussed several concepts in the Jenkins, right? It is used to do build automation of our application. It is used to do build automation of our application. So a Jenkins job is getting executed. A Jenkins job is getting executed. Once this Jenkins job is executed, I want to send one email notification to the team members. Guys, now in our project, multiple members will involve, right? A dev team will be available, a testing team will be available, and a DevOps team will be available. So this is a dev team, and it is a testing team for our project. Dev team will be available, testing team will be available for our project, and DevOps team also will be available. So now assume that there are 20 developers available, 20 people available in the development team. 8 members are available in testing team, and there are 3 DevOps people available for our project. Like this, there are several teams available in our project, and developers are doing the coding, testers are doing the testing, DevOps team is delivering the project to the multiple environments. Build and deployment activities are taken care by DevOps team. So what is the tool that we are using to do this build and operations? So here we are using Jenkins software. Here we are using Jenkins software to perform our build and automation. These developers are going to use the Jenkins. Testing team will use the Jenkins. DevOps team also will use the Jenkins. So Jenkins is a centralized software in our application to perform build and deployment. Jenkins is the centralized software which will perform build and deployment operations in our application. Jenkins is a centralized software which will perform build and deployment operations for our application. Development team will be there, testing team will be available, and the DevOps team also will be available. So here, development team is going to just run the jobs. Development team will just run the jobs on the Jenkins. These people will have the permission only to run the jobs. Testing team also will just run the jobs on the Jenkins. DevOps team are going to act as Jenkins admins. These DevOps people will act as Jenkins admins in our project. DevOps people will create the Jenkins jobs, Jenkins pipelines to perform build automation for our application. Now, when particular Jenkins job got executed, we need to send a notification to the development team and the testing team regarding this build and deployment process. So whether build and deployment got success or build and deployment got failed, we need to convey that message to the team. We need to convey that message to the team members, right? For this, we can configure email notifications in the Jenkins. We can configure email notifications in the Jenkins. So what is the meaning of email notification? Once the Jenkins job got executed, we want to send a notification to dev team and testing team. So here, dev team, 20 people are available. In the testing team, 8 people are available. In the DevOps team, 3 people are available. Guys, in the companies, there is a every team member will have a official email ID in the company. Suppose if there is a person called Ramu@tcs.com, Ramu dot his surname will be available some B, and Rani dot some K@tcs.com, like this. Ramesh dot some G@tcs.com, like this. Every team member will have a official email ID in the company. Right now, sending the email to all these mail IDs individually is very difficult. So that's why in the company, what our company people will do is, in the company, for all these mail IDs of our project team members, one DL will be created. That is called as distribution list. For all the mail IDs for our project, one DL will be created. That is called as distribution list. Suppose our project is SBI, they will create SBI.team or SBI team @tcs.com. This is a group mail ID. I can say this is a group mail ID which will be created for all the team members belongs to SBI project. In the SBI project, there are multiple people working. Every team member is having a separate mail ID. So instead of sending a mail to all the mail IDs separately, we are going to send a mail to a DL. DL nothing but distribution list. Simple. We have a WhatsApp groups, Telegram group. When I send a message in the WhatsApp group, all people who are in that group will receive that message. Similarly, DL nothing but email group. DL nothing but email group. One email group will be created for all the project team members. That email group is called as DL. For developers, one DL will be available. In the companies, in my project, development team is having one DL. Development DL, nothing but all the developers belongs to the SBI team will belongs to one group mail ID, SBI dev team @ tcs.com. Similarly, SBI testing team I mean SBI QA team @tcs.com. SBI DevOps team @tcs.com. For all these people, one common mail ID. So this is the DL which is belongs to, this is the DL belongs to developers. SBI dev team tcs.com, SBI QA team tcs.com, SBI DevOps team tcs.com. For all these team members, one common DL also will be created, that is SBI tcs.com. SBI tcs.com, that is common for all. Everybody is belongs to this DL. That is a common DL for entire project. For every team, one DL will be available. For all the teams, one common DL also will be available in the company. So here they will configure SBI team @tcs.com. Development team, QA team, DevOps team, everybody is part of this SBI team tcs.com. Now, email notifications we can send to this DL. Email notifications we can send to this DL, then all the team members are going to receive that. Email notifications. In the Jenkins, we can configure email notifications. You can configure the email notification to a DL, then all the people who are part of the DL will receive that mail. How we have WhatsApp groups in the project, email groups will be available to send an email for team members at a time. If you want to send any mail to DevOps team, SBI DevOps team DL will be available. That project DevOps team, that is. If you want to send a mail to testing team, SBI QA team @tcs.com, that is QA team DL. That is a QA team DL. Next one, dev team, SBI dev team DevOps, dev team tcs.com is available. If you want to send a common mail for all the team members, irrespective of the team, for all the project members, I want to send one email. For all the team members of our project, one common DL will be available, SBI team @tcs.com. If you want to send a notification to development team, testing team, DevOps team, then you will go for project DL. If you want to send a notification to particular team, then you will go for a team DL. Similarly, in the company, for all the HYD employees, one DL will be available. For entire company, one DL also will be available. Now, TCS company want to send some festival wishes to everybody. Festival wishes they want to send to all the TCS employees. So for all the TCS employees in all the across the world, TCS offices are there in multiple locations, right? For all the employees of the TCS, one common DL also will be available. When they want to send a notification, they will send to TCS DL. TCS DL, that means entire TCS team. TCS HYD employees, TCS Chennai employees, TCS Bangalore employees, TCS Pune employees, like that. For every location, one DL will be available. For every team, one DL will be available. For every project, one DL will be available in the company. Are you guys clear with this? Now, when we are doing Jenkins jobs execution, when the job is executing in the dev team, we will send a notification to dev team DL. When the job is executing in the SIT, then you will send a notification to dev team and testing team, right? When the project is deploying to the production, for entire team, we are going to send a notification like this. Based on the requirement, we can configure the DL to send a email in the Jenkins. Now, let's go to Jenkins, go to manage Jenkins, manage Jenkins, manage plugins, available. Let's check for email plugin. Go back here, manage Jenkins, manage plugins, available. So there will be a plugin called mailer plugin. Yeah, email extension template, mail watcher, LDAP email plugin will be available. build user email extension, full box. Yep, I think that is already installed. Let's check it. Email extension plugin is already available. Yes, by default, email extension plugin is installed. Now go to manage Jenkins, configure system, configure system. Here we need to configure the email SMTP server. SonarQube server we configured pipeline speed, folder, timestamper, fingerprints, GitHub, Git plugin, extended email notification. Yeah. Can you see here? There is a extended email notification is available. Extended email notification is available. So now by default, email extension plugin is already configured. Now we need to configure email extended notification, SMTP server, gmail.smtp.com. I want to send a mail by using Gmail SMTP. One second, I think I used that Gmail SMTP details in one of my project. I used that in one of my project. One second. Here we are configuring the Gmail SMTP because we don't have our own SMTP server. When we go for the company, in the company we are going to get company SMTP details. We can configure company SMTP details in that extension now. So here I'm going to configure smtp.gmail.com. smtp.gmail.com. I'm going to configure that, and port number I'm giving as 587. SMTP port I'm giving 587. Credentials, here we need to add the credentials, username with the password. So username, we need to configure our email ID for authentication purpose. We need to configure our email ID and password for authentication purpose. I'm configuring your email ID and your email ID password also you need to configure. Click on add. Then credentials I have configured. Use SSL or use TLS, like this you can specify. Advanced email, default user email suffix, default content type, plain text or HTML text. List ID, default recipients, who should receive this email. Now default recipient I'm going to configure my mail ID, gmail.com. Click on apply, click on save. I have configured extended SMTP notification. So SMTP host, SMTP port, and your SMTP credentials also we need to configure. So once the build is completed, it is going to send a notification to the given recipient list. I have given my email ID as a recipient list. Now let me open my email ID. Let's wait. Are we going to get any mail from Jenkins? Click on new item. I'm going to create a freestyle project. Demo email job, email demo job, email demo job. We are going to take freestyle. Okay. Description. Now source code management, I'm not doing anything. Just I'm going to build step, execute shell. Just I'm writing echo sending email. I'm not doing anything, just I'm doing this. Now go to post build action. Once the build got executed, there is an option called email notification. So post build actions we are doing as deploy var2 container. Here we can do email notification, email notification. Recipients you can configure, send email for every unstable build, and send email for every unstable build. Like this we can configure. Now I'm giving my mail ID. I'm giving my mail ID. If you want to give multiple emails, you can give with a space, with a comma separated, you can give multiple DLs. I'm giving my mail ID. I don't have a DL here. Click on save. I configured it. Click on build now. I'm running this job. Let's verify. Console output. Sending email. The job executed successfully. Let's see. Did we receive an email from Jenkins? Jenkins will send an email to the given mail ID, guys. So if the Gmail SMTP is working properly, then we will receive that mail. Sometimes the Gmail SMTP will give you a problem. Sometimes Gmail SMTP will give you a problem. So if the Gmail SMTP is working properly, then it will send you a mail for given mail ID. So still I have not received it. So we will get the mail from that. So like this, we can configure email notification. Here we configured Gmail SMTP details here. We configured Gmail SMTP details. But here, when you go for company will provide you company SMTP details. Company will provide you company SMTP details. Clear, guys? Fine. So like this, we can configure email notifications in our project. Email notifications in Jenkins. Jenkins is doing the build automation. We can configure email notifications in Jenkins. We can configure email notifications in the Jenkins. With email notifications, with this option, we can configure, we can send email notification to team members after build execution completed, after Jenkins job execution completed. We can configure email notifications in Jenkins. With this option, we can send email notification to team members after Jenkins job execution got completed. Okay. Manage Jenkins. Configure. Go to the how to. We need to configure SMTP properties. We need to configure SMTP properties to send emails. So for this, go to manage Jenkins. Email, add email extension. Add extension email server. Add email extension server. We will add company provided SMTP details. We will add company provided SMTP server details. For practice, we can use Gmail SMTP properties. For practice, we can use Gmail SMTP properties. Once SMTP properties added, then we can configure email notification as post build action. In Jenkins job. Once SMTP properties added, then we can configure email notification as post build action in Jenkins job. Right. So if it is a freestyle project, we can configure that as a post build action. Suppose if you are using a pipeline, how can we configure email notification in the pipeline? So here you can simply say post always mail to whatever the mail ID is available, we can configure like this. Okay, ashok@gmail.com, test mail, test body, we are using this. Let me try with this. I have not received that mail, guys. Maybe SMTP properties are not working. Fine, let's try with this. Dashboard, manage Jenkins, configure system, email extension, smtp.gmail.com. Let's see here, Gmail SMTP server details, smtp.gmail.com. For SSL, the port number is 465. Okay, save it. Email demo job. Let's run once again. I ran this. job executed successfully, sending email, it got success, but mail we are not receiving. Is it in the spam? No. smtp.gmail.com, that is what we configured. Go to dashboard, manage Jenkins, configure system. Sometimes due to Wi-Fi or mobile data, that issue with this also SMTP of Gmail sometimes will not connect, guys. smtp.gmail.com 465 port we have given. Fine. Let me create a pipeline demo, email demo pipeline, email demo pipeline. Click on OK. In the pipeline script, I'm directly giving this to send email. Hello, echo hello world. I'm trying to send an email when this job got executed. Save it, build now. Save it and build now. Console output. Sending this, it also success. End of pipeline. Pipeline execution got success. Yeah, we are not receiving. Yeah, that means Gmail SMTP is not working here. Fine. Gmail SMTP, yes, requires TLS if available. Requires authentication. S port SSL 465. Port for TLS is 587. I configured 465 only, but no luck. Fine. Guys, you try that in your system once. So is that email functionality is working, or maybe due to some my Wi-Fi issue also sometimes it will not work. SMTP server. You try configuring that email notification in your system. So if you are enabling SSL, then you need to configure the port number of SMTP as 465. And if you are going with the TLS, then you will configure as 587. And for authentication purpose, you need to give your email ID and password. Then you need to try for that. You need to try for that. Okay. With this, you understand how to configure email notifications in the Jenkins. With this, you understand how to configure email notifications in Jenkins. Come on. So what is the purpose of email notifications in the Jenkins? What is the purpose of email notifications in Jenkins? Good. So once the build execution got completed, then we can give updates to that. So in the email notifications there, we can configure SMTP properties, and you can add that email notification as a post build action. Fine. So if you are using a freestyle project, then you can use that as a post build action. So if you are using as a pipeline, then you can configure as post build action. Post always send a mail to given mail ID. What is the subject you want to keep and what is the body you want to keep, like that you can customize that. Good. So with this, we understood what is that Gmail SMTP configuration in the Jenkins. So which will send the notifications to the team members once the Jenkins jobs got executed. Fine. With this Jenkins pipelines, we understood what is Jenkins and how to work with Jenkins. We discussed Jenkins nodes. Yep. At the end of the Jenkins nodes, I'm going to keep pipeline concept also. Jenkins master slave, then Jenkins pipeline. All right. So with this, finally we completed our discussion related to Jenkins software. So with this, we got the clarity on what is Maven, what is GitHub, what is Maven, what is GitHub, what is Tomcat server, and what is SonarQube server, SonarQube server, and what is Jenkins. Are we comfortable with all these things now? Are we comfortable with all these things? Maven we are using as a build tool. Maven we are using as a build tool. Maven, it is a build tool to perform project compilation and packaging. GitHub we are using as a repository tool or repository server where we are storing our project. Tomcat, Tomcat, it is a web server to run our applications. SonarQube, it is code review, code quality checking, code quality checking. Coming to Jenkins, this Jenkins is deployment tool. This Jenkins is deployment tool. So we are able to automate project build and deployment process. We are able to perform project deployment process by using Jenkins. Maven is acting as a build tool in our project. GitHub is acting as a repository server. So every Java project will be created by using a build tool like Maven. And for every project, one repository will be available like GitHub. And for every project to run, we need one server. So to run our Java projects, we are using Tomcat. Tomcat is acting as a web server for us. And we have SonarQube. SonarQube is used for code quality checking. Then next, Jenkins. Jenkins is the heart of the DevOps. Jenkins is a deployment tool. In the Jenkins, we are creating jobs and we are executing the jobs to perform build automation, build and deployment automation in our applications. So with this, we completed these 4 tools. Next, guys, we need to understand Ansible, Terraform, Terraform, then Docker and Kubernetes. Ansible, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes. So here, Ansible will take 4 days and Terraform also will take 4 days to complete. Docker also will take 4 days and Kubernetes will take 7 days to complete. 7 to 10 days of time it is going to take to complete Kubernetes. After that, some monitoring tools will be available. Monitoring tools will be available. Those tools will take just 2 to 3 days of time, not more than that. Monitoring tools will take only 2 to 3 days of time to complete. These tools we have completed as of now. In these tools, DevOps is the tool which has taken more time because lot of concepts are available in the Jenkins and how to create the Jenkins jobs, how to run the jobs. Several options we have experimented in the Jenkins, and we have learned pipeline also in the Jenkins, pipeline scripting with a declarative approach, and how to work with the code quality by using SonarQube, and how to integrate Jenkins with Sonar, and how to work with the Tomcat server, how to work with the GitHub, how to work with Maven. We learnt all these concepts and we have integrated all, and we created one final pipeline also with the scripting. Now, the next step, we need to understand the remaining tools which are available, for us. Got it? Fine. So here, Ansible, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, and monitoring tools we have to understand. So first, I'm going to start with Ansible tool. I'm going to start with Ansible first. So do you want me to start the Ansible today? Yeah, repository, Nexus repository or JFrog. Any one I'm going to cover, either Nexus or JFrog. Artifact, I'm going to cover one tool as part of this. Okay, repositories, artifacts, JFrog or Nexus repositories. Then one we can learn. I will cover that also. Okay, good. So do you want one day time to practice the Jenkins, or you want me to start the Ansible now? You want one day time, or you want me to start the Ansible today? Let's start the Ansible. You need time, huh? Yeah, today I will just give the introduction for Ansible. Then we can start installation of the Ansible in the tomorrow session. Okay, guys, already we are getting late. So let me give just introduction part for Ansible. Just I will give the theoretical introduction part. What is Ansible and why we need to go for Ansible. Then in tomorrow session, we will do Ansible installation part. Okay, good, fine. Let me share this. Good, fine, guys. Now tell me, if you want to run one application, only one virtual machine is sufficient, or one virtual machine is not sufficient? Can you tell me now? If you want to run a project, if you want to set up the infrastructure for a project, is one virtual machine is sufficient, or one virtual machine is not sufficient? One virtual machine is not sufficient. One virtual machine is not sufficient. We have seen just example, right? We are taking one virtual machine. In that virtual machine, we are installing Jenkins server. We are installing Jenkins server in one virtual machine. Along with Jenkins, we are installing Sonar server also in another machine. We are installing Sonar server in another machine. Jenkins server is running in one machine. Sonar server is running in one machine. And I want to run my applications. I want to run my application in multiple machines. Then I need to install web servers. Web server. I want to install this web servers in multiple computers. Assume that my application having 3 servers to run. My application is having 3 servers: web server 1, web server 2, and web server 3. Like this, I'm taking 3 machines to run my application for load balancing. 3 instances I'm taking to run my application. Web server is available in one machine, and Jenkins server is available in one machine. Sonar server is available in one machine. Web servers are available in multiple machines. Jenkins server, Sonar server, web servers are available. Sonar is available here. And my application is having DB servers. My DB servers, there are 3 DB servers are available, like DB server 1, DB server 1, DB server 2 for database. To run the database for our application, I'm taking some DB servers. So there are 3 web servers are available and 3 database servers are available for my application. So if you want to set up one application infrastructure, one virtual machine is not sufficient, guys. One virtual machine is not sufficient. And for application logs, I'm taking one more machine called log server. I'm taking one more server called log server to run my application. My application logs should be generated in the logs mesh in the separate machine. For that, I'm taking log server. For that, I'm taking log server. So application infrastructure, app infrastructure. So in order to run this application, we need web servers. Web servers. One web server is not sufficient, guys, because our application should have a load balancing concept. So I'm going to take multiple web servers. So I'm taking 3 web servers, and our application needs database servers, DB servers. I'm taking 3 DB servers, and I'm taking Sonar server. For Sonar, I'm taking one server. For Sonar, I'm taking one server. And for storing the application logs, I'm taking another server that is called log server. Log server. And to do the build automation, I'm taking Jenkins master. Jenkins master is one. Jenkins slaves, I'm taking 4 slaves to run my Jenkins. Jenkins slaves. So I'm taking 4 slave nodes of the Jenkins. We understood what is the purpose of Jenkins slaves also, right? So if you run everything in one machine, in one Jenkins server, then it is going to increase burden on the servers. It is going to increase burden on the servers. Now, here I have taken 3 web servers, but in the real time, web servers can be 10, DB servers can be 10. If you want to do the load balancing for your application, then we need multiple servers. Now, 3 web servers I'm taking, that means 3 virtual machines I'm taking, and I'm installing web servers in 3 machines. 3 DB servers I'm taking, and 1 Sonar server, 1 log server, 1 Jenkins master, 4 Jenkins slaves I'm taking. So total, how many computers we are taking here? 3 plus 3, 6 plus 1, 7 plus 1, 8 plus 1, 9 plus 4, 13 computers we are taking. Now, can I install all these softwares in one virtual machine? Is one machine sufficient to set up? One machine is sufficient to set up the whole infrastructure? Can I do all this infrastructure setup on one computer? Can I set up all this infrastructure on one computer, or I cannot set up all the infrastructure on one computer? If you set up all this infrastructure like web servers, DB servers, Sonar server, log server, Jenkins, then burden will increase on that machine. Burden will increase on that machine. That will become very slow, and it is very difficult to manage also. So if you want to set up a infrastructure for the real-time project, we need to take multiple VMs, multiple virtual machines are required. We need multiple virtual machines. We need multiple virtual machines. Now I need 3 web servers. That means I'm going to take 3 virtual machines, 3 computers. 3 computers I need for web server. Web server 1, web server 1, and web server 2, web server 2, and web server 3. Server 1, web server 1, web server 2, web server 3. Web server 1 I am using. Web server 1 I am using. Now here, next one, web server 2 I am using. Web server 2 I am using. Here, web server 3. So total 3 virtual machines I have taken. There can be N also. There can be multiple web servers, depends upon the requirement. I can take up to web server 10. 10 web servers I can take for my application. So 10 virtual machines to install only web servers, which are used to like Tomcat. I will take 10 virtual machines. In the 10 virtual machines, I will install Tomcat to deploy my application. Then next one, I need DB servers. DB server 1, DB server 2, DB server 3, and so on. I'm taking 5 DB servers for my application. DB server 1, DB server 1, DB server 2, DB server 2, then DB server 3, DB server 3, DB server 4, DB server 4, and so on. I can say DB server 5. 5 DB servers I'm taking, 5 virtual machines. 5 virtual machines. Then I'm taking one Sonar server, and one Logs server, and one Jenkins server. Okay, Sonar server is used to perform code review, that will be available. Log server, application logs will be generated in the log server, and here Jenkins server is available. Jenkins master is available here. Jenkins master is available in one machine, and if I run all the jobs in the Jenkins master, then it is going to increase burden. For that purpose, what I will do, Jenkins slave 1, Jenkins slave 2, Jenkins slave 3, Jenkins slave 4. In four virtual machines, I'm going to use as Jenkins slaves. Jenkins slave 1, Jenkins slave 2, slave 1, slave 2, Jenkins slave 3, Jenkins slave 3, Jenkins slave 3, Jenkins slave 4, Jenkins slave 4. 4 Jenkins machines I am using. Okay, these 10 web servers I am using for dev environment. These 10 web servers I am using for dev environment. Then what about the web servers for sit environment? Whatever the web servers for, or else I can say that these 10 web servers I'm using for non-prod environment. That means not production. These web servers, 10 web servers I'm using for non-prod. These 10 web servers I'm using for prod environment. Production के लिए अलग environment होना चाहिए. So this is non-prod servers. This is non-prod web servers, and these are prod web servers, production web servers. These are production web servers. So non-production web servers and production web servers are available. Jenkins master, this is for non-prod. For non-production, that means dev, sit, UAT, that is non-production. And I need Jenkins master. Jenkins master is required for production. People should not access the production Jenkins server. I need to have tight security for production server. So like this, I'm going to take one more machine. I'm going to take one more machine for Jenkins master. Jenkins master. This Jenkins master is required for production server, production environment. It is for prod. It is for prod. Are you guys clear with my point? Now tell me, generally I have identified how many machines we need to set up our project infrastructure. Can we set up all these things in one computer? Now can you tell me, do we need only one computer to set up our project infrastructure, or we can't set up our project infrastructure with one machine? Can you guys respond now? Can we set up the project infrastructure with one machine, or we cannot set up our project infrastructure with one machine? We cannot set up our project with one machine, because in our project multiple environments will be available, like web servers will be available. One web server or multiple web servers? One web server will be available, or multiple web servers will be available? Multiple web servers will be available. Production environment will be available, non-production environment will be available. Production means live environment. Non-production means dev environment, test environment, sit environment, UAT environment, pre-prod, that is non-prod. For running the application in the non-production, we need some web servers. 10 web servers I'm taking for non-production. To run my project in the production, I'm taking 10 web servers. And DB servers, DBs also, production DB servers will be available, non-production DB servers will be available. Now, this is wrong number now. Okay, now for prod 10 web servers. For prod web servers, here I'm taking non-prod 10 and prod 10. Just web servers. For non-production, I'm taking 10 web servers. For production, I'm taking 10 web servers. 10 web servers. DB servers, same thing. For non-production, I'm taking 10, and for production, I'm taking 10 DB servers. DB servers, non-prod 10. Sonar server, prod 1, non-prod 1. For non-production, I need one Sonar server, and for production, I need one Sonar server. Are you guys understanding the complexity? Are you guys understanding the complexity now? Log server, for non-prod logs, I will use one log server. For production logs, I will use one log server. For production and non-production. Jenkins master, for production 1, for non-production 1. Jenkins slaves, I'm using 4. Jenkins slaves, I'm using 4. Okay, Jenkins slaves for non-prod 4, for non-prod 4, and for prod 1, because only at a time only one job will execute in the production. In the non-production, multiple jobs will be executing. For production, I'm taking one Jenkins slave machine. For non-production, I'm taking multiple slaves machine. Jenkins slaves, 5 machines are required. Jenkins master, 2 machines are required. Log servers, non-production 1 log server, production 1 log server. Sonar server, for non-production 1, for production 1. DB server, non-prod 10, production 10. Web servers, non-prod 10, production 10. 10 plus 10, 20. 20 plus 20, 40. 42, 44, 46, 50. Almost how many virtual machines we are using? Almost 50 machines we are using to set up infrastructure. How many computers we are using to set up infrastructure for our project? How many computers we are using to set up infrastructure for our project, guys? Can you guess now? It is a basic analysis I have done now. Basic analysis I have done now. How many computers we are going to use to set up infrastructure for our project? How many EC2 instances we have to create now? Guys, can you tell me how many EC2 instances we have to create for our project? 50 EC2 instances we have to create for our project. Now, are you getting the clarity what work will be there for a DevOps engineer in the company? In the training as of now, we are creating one EC2, we are installing Jenkins. We are creating one EC2, installing Tomcat. We are creating one EC2, installing Sonar. 3-4 machines only we are using in the training. But when you go for real-time project, when you go for company-based project, 50 machines will be available. In my project, you know, we have 100 plus virtual machines for our project. Because our project is a banking company, our project is having multiple environments. Dev environment is having 10 web servers, 10 DB servers. SIT having 10 web servers, 10 DB servers, right? UAT, in every environment, 20 servers, 10 for web server, 10 for DB. We have 6 environments, 6 into 20, 120 only for servers, web servers and DB servers. Then what about Sonar server, Jenkins server, log server? My God, 100 plus machines. 100 plus virtual machines are available for our project. 100 plus virtual machines are available for our project. Are you getting my point now? Now, can you manage everything with one EC2 instance? Project infrastructure, web server, DB server, log server, Sonar server, Jenkins server? We cannot manage. So if you think in the big picture, you will get the clarity. For production environment, we need some machines. For non-production environment, we need some machines. Production environment is nothing but live environment. Non-prod nothing but our test environments. Dev, test, QA, UAT, pilot, all these things comes under non-production. Production means it is a main environment. So as a DevOps engineer, we need to set up the infrastructure to run our application for prod environment as well as for non-prod environment. When you are setting up the environment for the non-prod and prod, you need to create multiple virtual machines. If I just do rough calculation, we got 50 machines. In the real time, 100 plus machines will be available for our project. 100 plus machines will be available for our project. Are you guys clear with my point? Are you getting the clarity? How many machines will be used in the real time to set up infrastructure for a project? And what would be the work of a DevOps engineer in the company? Yes, 100 plus machines we need to set up to run one project. 100 plus machines we need to set up to run our project. Are you guys clear with this? Are you guys clear with this? Now, so tell me, for prod and non-prod, how many web servers are available? How many web servers I'm taking for prod and non-prod? How many web servers are available for prod and non-prod? 20 web servers are available. 20 machines I have taken. I want to install Tomcat server in the 20 machines. How we are installing the Tomcat? Do you know how to install a Tomcat server? Do you know how to install a Tomcat server? Yes. How we are installing the Tomcat? We are connecting to that computer using Mobile Extra and we are downloading. Now, how many places we need to install Tomcat? In how many places we need to install Tomcat? At 20 places. So can you connect it to the 20 machines and can you install the Tomcat manually? Generally, what we are doing, we are going to Mobile Extra. Let me go to our Tomcat nodes. Apache Tomcat nodes is available here. Apache Tomcat nodes is available. Yes, in every machine, we need to install Java and we need to install Tomcat. So there are set of commands available. That commands we need to execute in 20 machines. Okay, currently 20 machines are there. Assume that my project I want to run in 50 machines. I want to run my project in 50 servers because of load balancing. I want to run my project in 50 servers. So how many places you need to install the Tomcat? How many places you need to install the Tomcat? This is one machine, machine 1, machine 2, machine 3, machine 4, machine 50. Okay, this is computer 1, VM1. It is one VM. And virtual machine, it is a second VM. It is third virtual machine. It is fourth virtual machine. It is 50th virtual machine. I want to install Tomcat and Java. So here I need to download Java and I need to download Tomcat. So I need to do this setup in all the machines. I need to set up this in all the machines. There are 50 plus machines are available to run my web servers and I want to install. Okay, here what you need to do, you will use a putty or mobile extra. You will use a mobile extra and you will connect to this EC2 VM using mobile extra. You will connect to this using mobile extra. You will connect to this using mobile extra, this mobile extra, this with mobile extra. We are going to create one SSH connection with the mobile extra software and we are going to connect to our virtual machines and we are going to download Java and we are going to install Tomcat. How much time it will take? Okay, I have installed Tomcat here. Then we got a requirement. Our project is upgraded from Java 8 to Java 11. Currently, we installed Java 1.8 version and we installed Tomcat in the 50 machines. I spent 2 days of time to install just Tomcat and Java in 50 machines. 2 days of time I have taken to complete the installation of Java and Tomcat in 50 machines. After 1 month, project management told that we want to use Java 11, not the Java 8. Now I want to update the Java from 1.8 to 1.11. How many places you need to update? How many places you need to update Java software? 50 places we need to update the Java software. So is that work is easy? Updating the Java software in 50 machines, installing the Java in 50 machines, installing the Tomcat in 50 machines. Is it easy work? Can I say it is a repeated work? Can I say it is a repeated work? Yes or no? Are you getting my point? So in my project, I'm taking 50 plus virtual machines just to manage the infrastructure. In that 50 machines, some machines I'm using as web servers, some machines I'm using as DB servers, some machines I'm using for Sonar, some machines I'm using for log. Like that, I'm using several virtual machines to set up infrastructure for my project. Who is responsible to manage this infrastructure? Programmers will manage. Developers will manage this infrastructure. Developers will just write the code and they will keep in the GitHub. That's it. Developers will just write the code and they will keep the code into GitHub. That's it. As a DevOps engineer, you are responsible to manage this infrastructure. 100 plus machines are required to set up our infrastructure. Few machines we will use for web servers, few machines we will use for DB servers, few machines we will use for Sonar, few machines we will use for Jenkins, few machines we will use for logs, few machines we will use for backup. Like that, 100 plus machines are required. Now, let's take an example of web servers. For my project, I'm taking 50 web servers. So if you want to set up a web server, Tomcat, first you need to set up the Java. Once your Java is installed, then you can install the Tomcat, then you can run the Tomcat. So you need to connect it to 50 virtual machines manually with the mobile extra, and you need to install Java, and you need to install Tomcat, and you need to verify the installation is completed successfully, that is working successfully or not. Okay, we have done this installation for 2 days of time. After 1 month, management told that update from Java 1.8 to Java 1.11, Java 11 version. New features we are using in the project, we want to use the Java 11. Then again connect it to the 50 machines, then update Java 1.8 to Java 11. This is very difficult. So can I say configuration of the systems becoming difficult? Managing the project system configurations is difficult task for the DevOps engineer now. Can I say that it is difficult task connecting to every virtual machine? We should connect to every virtual machine. We have to install the Java. We have to install the Tomcat. Can I say it is a difficult task? Is it difficult or it is easy? Is it difficult or it is easy? It is difficult. To overcome this problem, Ansible came into picture. Samjha? Why we are first I explained you the problem. Now I am telling you the solution. Now what we will do in the company is we will take one main machine. This machine is called as Ansible server. Ansible server. Now all the web servers we need for our application, all the virtual machines we need for our application. So suppose I need 50 machines for web servers. Now all the 50 machines I will connect with the Ansible server. If I want to install the Tomcat and Java in the machines, I will just execute one command in the Ansible server. Then Ansible will manage the work in all the machines. Now here I will tell install Java, install Tomcat. That's it. It is going to install in all the virtual machines which are available in our project. How many places I need to execute the Java and Tomcat here? Now if I use the Ansible, do I need to connect to every machine separately? Do I need to connect to every machine separately if I am using Ansible? No. Ansible is an open source configuration management software. If you want to configure anything in your machines, you can do that by using Ansible. Inside the Ansible, I will configure IP addresses of all the web servers. I will tell install Java. Then Java will be installed in all the machines. I will tell to Ansible server install Tomcat. It is going to install Tomcat in all the machines. I will tell to Ansible update the Java 1.8 to Java 1.8 to Java 11. It is going to update. At how many places we need to do now? Do I really need to connect to 50 machines? Do I really need to connect to 50 machines now if I want to update a software? That is called configuration management. That is called configuration management. Who will take care of the configuration management for our project? Who will take care of the configuration management in our project? Come on, tell me. Manually, we need to take care of the configurations, or we will use Ansible to take care of the configurations. Ansible we will use to take care of the configurations. Now, I want to install Java in 20 computers at a time. By using Ansible, I can do that. I want to install Tomcat in 50 computers at a time. By using Ansible, I can do that. Ansible is a configuration management software for our project. Ansible is one of the most important tool in the DevOps culture. Ansible is used to manage configurations required for our project. It is going to manage the configurations required for our project. Managing the configuration means whatever the work that you want to do in multiple machines, you can automate that work by using Ansible. So today it is just introduction for what is Ansible. It is just introduction for what is Ansible. I hope you got the clarity what is Ansible. Now can anyone tell me what is Ansible now? Why we are using Ansible? Whatever the repeated work we need to do in multiple machines, that can be automated by using Ansible. Whatever the repeated work that we want to do. Now if you see application infrastructure, multiple machines are available. If I want to install one software in multiple machines, instead of doing that individually, I can automate that repeated work by using a software called Ansible software. Ansible is an Ansible is a configuration management software which is using in the DevOps culture. Whatever the repeated work you want to do in multiple computers, that repeated work can be automated by using Ansible. Whatever the repeated work we are doing in multiple computers, that repeated work can be automated by using Ansible. For example, I want to install Java in 10 computers. By using Ansible, we can do that at a time. You don't need to connect to the 10 computers separately to install the Java. By using Ansible, you can do that configuration for your machines. I want to install Tomcat in 20 machines. By using Ansible, you can do that. Ansible is a configuration management tool which we are going to use in our DevOps. Are you clear with this? What is Ansible? Yes. Next to 2 to 3 days, we are going to work with the Ansible, and I will show you how to do the configuration management automation by using Ansible software. Ansible is also very important tool for DevOps engineers. Damn sure interview questions will come from Ansible also. Good. Thank you. So today it is just an introduction. Tomorrow we are going to see some more details related to Ansible, and we will set up the Ansible in our computers in the tomorrow session. Thank you guys. Please practice the Jenkins before coming to tomorrow. We'll continue our discussion in tomorrow's session. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.